Good day! In this video, I and my groupmates will going to discuss about the evolution of Philippine education. So, to start this discussion, let us first go to pre-Spanish or colonial era. This period happens before 1521. So, the pre-Spanish or pre-colonial era was before in 1521. So, indigenous communities had their own systems of education, focusing on skills relevant to their livelihoods. We also have here, I am going also to discuss the key points about the pre-colonial or the pre-Spanish education during this era or period. First, we have the informal nature. This key points includes the education is centered around the practical needs of the community. So, here in pre-colonial or pre-Spanish era, it is based on practical skills. Also, we have traditional oral tradition. Knowledge was primarily transmitted orally through storytelling, proverbs, and the teaching of elders. So, in Spanish era, the teaching transmitted through orally like storytelling, proverbs, and other teachings of elders. We also have the practical skills. As it was mentioned earlier, the focus of education was on practical skills essential for daily life, such as agriculture, fishing, craftsmanship, and survival skills. So, here we can really distinguish the importance of the being practical in this era. Also, we have the community-centered learning. Learning was community-centered, emphasizing the collective well-being and progress of the community. So here, we can see that the community in this era really emphasized the collective well-being of each individual that is part of that community. So we also have the rules or rule of elders. Elders played a crucial role in educating a younger generation, passing down traditions, skills, and cultural values. So, we can really say that this era really gives or emphasize the rules of the elders, the one that is dominating the community. Because they played a crucial role in educating the younger ones, because the younger ones looked up to the elders. Okay, next we also have the rituals and ceremonies. Of course, rituals and ceremonies serves as occasions for transmitting cultural knowledge and values. We all know that everyone in this era has different traditions, different cultures, different beliefs, and using the rituals and ceremonies, they were going to imply their knowledge about this or transmit their knowledge or cultural knowledge and values. So using these rituals and ceremonies showed to their younger generations, they will know that ceremonies or rituals is part of their community or their values and cultures. Last, we have the baybayin script. While not universally used, some communities employ the baybayin script for communication and basic record keeping. We can say that the 1521 or before 1521, they are very resourceful, especially in practical skills. So, now in continuation, my groupmates will going to discuss more about these eras in the Philippine education.
Spanish colonial in 1521 to 1898. It introduced the formal education, primary for the elite and clergy. Religious orders established schools emphasizing Christian doctrines and Spanish languages. Language instructions, universities and higher education, caste system and limited access, secularization, controversy, resistance and cultural influences, legacy and challenges. So the Spanish colonial education system refers to the educational system that was imposed by the Spanish Empire during the colonial rule in various parts of the world, including Latin America, the Philippines, and some parts of Africa and Asia. So during this period, the main purpose of education was to spread the Spanish language, cultures, and Catholicism to the local population. The educational system was heavily influenced by the Catholic Church, which played a significant role in shaping the curriculum and teaching methods. The Spanish colonial education system was divided into different levels. At the elementary level, children were taught basic literacy skills, religious education, and vocational training. The curriculum focused on the religious doctrines, morality, and obedience of the authority. For those who choose to pursue higher education, the system included secondary schools and universities. Secondary education aimed to prepare students for university studies, focusing on the subjects such as Latin, philosophy, mathematics, and humanities. Universities were established in major colonial cities and offer degrees in various fields such as law, medicine, theology, and philosophy. The most prestigious university during the period was the University of Santo Tomas in Manila, Philippines, founded in 1611, or also known as USTEC. However, it's worth noting the accessibility of education was limited to the elites and the clergy, including the majority of the local population. Indigenous cultures and languages were often suppressed in favor of Spanish languages and culture.
The third period of Philippine education is the American colonial period. So, during the United States colonial period in the Philippines, 1898 to 1946, the United States government was in charge of providing education in the Philippines. Education became a very important issue for the United States government, especially since education allowed them to spread their cultural values, particularly the English language, to the Filipino. So, in response to the shortage of teachers, the Philippine Commission authorized the public instruction of Secretary 1,000 teachers from United States. They began to arrive in August 1901 aboard using U.S. Army transport ship named Sheridan and Thomas. So, the first batch, or the original batch of the teachers, was composed of 365 males and 165 females, and they are called the Thomasites. Act number 74 of 1901, enacted into law by the Philippine Commission. The Act created the Department of Public Instruction, laid the foundation of public school system in the Philippines, provided for establishment of the Philippine Normal School in Manila, and made English as a medium in school instruction. Under the Americans, English was not only taught to every Filipino school, but was adopted as the medium of instruction in all public schools. This was provided by Act number 74 of the Philippine Commission. The same act was established the American public school system in the islands. Religion was not part of school curriculum as it had been in Spanish era.
So now we have the post-independent period. Reconstruction efforts focus on rebuilding the education system. First, we have the 1947 Education Act. So the 1947 Education Act was a significant milestone in the post-independent period, outlining the frameworks for education in the newly independent nation. It also aimed to establish a more inclusive and accessible education system, emphasizing free and compulsory education for all. The second is the expansion of education institution. So during the post-independence period, there was a concerted effort to expand educational institutions across the country to meet the growing demand for education. New schools and colleges were established, particularly in rural areas, to ensure the broader access to education. Third, we have the bilingual education policy. So the introduction of bilingual education policy aimed to address the linguistic diversity in the country. It recognized the importance of regional language alongside the national language, fostering a more inclusive approach to education. Fourth, we have the education reforms and curriculum change. So educational reforms during this period focus on updating and modernizing the curriculum. There were efforts to align education with the needs of the nation, incorporating practical skills and knowledge relevant to the socio-economic context. So the fifth is the 1972 martial law period. So the period of martial law in 1972 had a profound impact on education. It led to changes in educational policies. It emphasized on national discipline and development goals. However, it also saw increased centralization and control over educational system. So those that I mentioned develops the collectively aim to rebuild and strengthen the education system in the post-independence period, addressing various aspects from legislative frameworks to the actual structure and content of education.
The next, we have the 1987 Constitution and Education. Regarding education, the 1987 Constitutions emphasize the importance of education as a key to personal development and nation building. It mandates the states to protect and promote the right of all citizens at all levels. The Constitution recognized the role of parents in the education of their children and encouraged non-formal, informal, and indigenous learning system. So, in the essence, the 1987 Constitution sets the legal foundation for the educational system in the Philippines, emphasizing its significance in the development of individuals and the nations as a whole. The next, we have the decentralizations of education. Decentralization of education refers to the distribution of authority, decision-making, and control in the education system across various levels rather than being concentrated as a central authority. It involves empowering local institutions, schools, and communities to have more autonomy in managing educational resources, curriculum development, and administrative functions. The next, we have the K-12 program in 2013. The K-12 program, introduced in the Philippines in 2013, is an education refers to initiative that expanded the basic education curriculum. It added 2 years, incorporating a mandatory kindergarten years and an additional senior high schools or levels. The goal was to provide students with more time to acquire essential skills and knowledge, aligning the country's educational system with international standards. And last but not the least, we have the challenges and innovation. In education, challenges may include adapting to diverse learning styles, integrating emerging technologies, and addressing evolving societal needs. Innovations in the curriculum involves incorporating interactive tools, personalized learning approaches, and real-world applications to enhance the educational experience and better prepare students for the future. Philippines continued to evolve its educations to meet the changing demands of society, emphasizing the inclusivity, quality, and relevance. And that's all. Thank you.
Contemporary or the current developments of our education system here in the Philippines includes the K-12 or from kindergarten, 6 years of elementary, 4 years of junior high, and 2 years of senior high. The contemporary or the current developments includes continued implementation of K-12, enhanced focus on technical and vocational functions, the integration of technology. This, of course, in this 21st century education, we must integrate technology in our teaching. Number 4, globalization and internationalization. Number 5, public and private partnership. Number 6, alternative learning system for those who didn't finish their studies. Number 7, education for sustainable development, challenges and reform. Number 9, and for the last, the impact of global events.